What is up, guys? It is Simba here and welcome back to another team racing video on F124, and today it is round number 10 for the Miami Grand Prix in AEC. If you haven't seen the last race that I've done in AEC, which was in Monza, be sure to check that one out before you see this one, because that's exactly why the title is what it is. We're looking to keep up our 100% podium record this season, and if you're going to enjoy this one, make sure you hit the like button and get subscribed for more team racing content. To be honest, it's been a while since the last video because of university. I'm literally in my last month of my course, and yeah, I've not actually been terribly motivated to play this game, to be honest with you. I've been on F123 co-op career mode with a certain Spark Side T15 more than I've been playing this game. So I just can't be asked for this game anymore, and I think that is the same feeling with everyone else, really, or the majority of people who are just sick of this game. And with F125 not looking the best, I'm very skeptical of what's to come in the next few months. But we'll press on with that when we get to it. But first of all, we've got this first time lap in qualifying. And the last time we did Miami was quite a rough one. We didn't really show the best of pace there compared to the front runners. And going into this one, it was kind of the same story. We just don't really have the pace compared to the front runners. You can see Tech's done a 24.9, and this is going to be nowhere near that lap. It's in fact a 25.8, and we're 9/10 off. Quite a margin. And we don't really improve until the end of the session. So here we go then, one lap to go. The only way is up from that first lap, which is very scruffy if you saw the laps of the lap really just... I can't even speak anyway. But through turns 1, 2 and 3, we get that pretty nicely done. We've gained a 10th, as the first lap was scruffy, as I was trying to say. Yeah, we needed improvement. So through this fast section now, through the right and then the left as well, Leclerc binned it in 2023. We don't manage to do that, and we take a very nice apex through that left-hander as well. And it's a 29.2 in the first sector, but we're still down on AMS Partik's first sector, which was a 29.1. So it's not filling me up with confidence, but if we just put this middle sector together, we could save the lap. Down the gears, down to third for this left-hander, and now we're going to swing it to the right-hand side, where it's basically a double right-hander, as we set up for this very hard chicane. We're going to send it through. We do it well, but we don't exactly connect the corners together. It was a bit scruffy on the right part of the chicane, and we do get a little bit of a twitch with the rear end stepping out a little bit on the exit there. But we are 6/10 up effectively. So this is a much needed improvement, because if we don't get this last corner right, it's going to be a very long day in the office for us. On the brakes, just after the 100-metre board, down to third. We don't mess up the last corner like we did last season. And it's just a run up to the line now. 7/10 up as we cross the line, and it's a 25.1. And that puts us P7. That is exactly where we end up. So we did well to actually make a big improvement in the end. But as you can see, there's quite a gap between myself and Quantum in pole position. He was a class of his own in the 0.5. So yeah, pace wasn't great. It's a similar situation to last season where, you know, the pace is decent, but it's nowhere near the top 5. So it's going to be quite a tough race here today. But yeah, you can see that was actually a relief, because qualifying is not our strong point, and the confidence was quite low after that world race in Hungary, which I won't be racing world again because I've been picked for them. But yeah, it is what it is. Agonized had a few problems with getting into the lobby as well, and he's going to be starting at the back. So let's get into this one and see what happens. We're going to be starting on the hards, and we're going to move on to the mediums later on in the Grand Prix, and let's see if we can have a decent race for our Miami this time. So 5 red light in front of us for the Miami Grand Prix, the AEC's 10th round, and the lights are out, and we are underway for the Miami Grand Prix. We get a pretty decent second phase, and we just get right behind Placky going into turn 1 as ATX James lagging all over the place, and we've got crowding on our inside, and we try to give him space, but we go way too wide there, and we show too much kindness to the Sauber, and we get a warning on the opening lap, which isn't ideal at all. So we could have been P6, but we do break even by staying in P7, and the main thing is just measuring what our pace is like compared to those in front of us, and it actually was okay, as Agonized meanwhile is fighting for the Drivers' Championship, and he's making his way through the field as well. You'll hear him later on, but we do have a problem here in James's teammate Kevin Zunneberg, who's really challenging us here, going into this left-hander And then he's going to have the inside line for the double right-hander. We're going to try and hang on here. I don't really want to relinquish track position as DRS is crucial as we do get on the inside. Through the Mickey Mouse chicane, there's a bit of contact on the way through the next left-hander. But we do stay ahead for the time being. But unfortunately, this is where things are going to start falling apart and become really frustrating for us, because this is going to be a race-long thing with Kevin being a pain in the arse. You can see he's still pressing the issue onto the following lap. And again, we're going to have to do some defending going into the middle sector. We try and get him on the brakes through here, but again, he's going to stick his car in. Through the double right-hander, there's contact.
And nice. Just, I don't know what he's doing.
And again, round 2 goes to us, but you can see the gap on the top left-hand side of your screen. Placky is almost earing away from us with the 1 second gap, which is vital on this game, because if you don't have DRS, it's effectively curtains here. And you can see we're just hanging on as we have a little bit of a drift through the final corner, but we're hanging on for dear life. And you can see that the battling with Kevin from the start of Sector 2 has had an impact on our battery, and now we've got less than 10%, which is really, really bad. So now it's going to be easy pickings for the EVR drivers here, as Kevin is going to go through.
Go on then. Honestly, what a waste of time. You better get us back in now, otherwise we're all fucked effectively.
Well, he's very eager to get past, and unfortunately, the lack of battery means that we had to relinquish another place to James. But you can hear me say that I'm hoping that Kevin gets us back in, because he was very, very eager to get past us. And he insisted that after the race that he was basically quicker than us. Well, just stay tuned, and I'll let you guys be the judge of it. As you can see, they've swapped places, but going into the final corner...
Mate, this guy is stupid, or what the fuck is his fucking problem, mate? What the fuck was that, man?
Meanwhile, Agonized is not very happy as he's trying to make places. He's had a few... He's been tangled with a few cars around him as he's trying to make progress, but you see old James there. The minute he gets past Kevin, he makes a mess of the last corner, and it's not helping our case at all.
Yeah, these guys are just making too many mistakes. I don't know why. It's just... Yeah, if it stays that way, we can still get something out of it. But... Oh, what is... As soon as they say that, they both fuck up the... Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not having this. This is an absolute joke.
And you can hear the frustration just starting to boil over now as we skip to lap 11.
This is an absolute
These
joke.
guys, they're swapping places, and they're not even doing it well because they keep messing up the last corner, and they keep making mistakes in places where it just shouldn't be happening. And as a result, we're not even maintaining a gap to the cars in front. The gap's now probably gone up to about 2.2 seconds as Bell was updating me on the gap between ourselves and the top 5 or top 6. So it's really, really frustrating. And I think at this point, I felt as though we needed to do something about it, because being stuck behind these guys is just going to create a very frustrating race as we'll just lose touch with them. So James goes through. We're looking to follow him through as we go up the inside of Kevin into this left-hander again. And for the third time, we'll have the inside line, and he'll have the inside line for the right-handers. And we're going to try and stick this one out, but we just can't find a way through. We do back out of it, and unfortunately, we pick up a warning. And I will tell you now, that's our second warning of the day. I can't quite... Oh, no, never mind. I was about to say, I forgot when I got the first warning, but the first warning was laughably bad, so I can't really forget that. So, yeah, 2 warnings for us now, and we have to worry about that for the rest of the race. As now we're going to try again on the inside of Kevin, going into the final corner this time, and we get it done quite nicely, as he doesn't quite get a decent run out of the last corner, and now we're up into P8, so there you go. He thinks he's faster, but we've just passed him quite easily there, so whatever, mate. Anyway, on to lap 14. James is not going to fight us, and I was hoping that we could actually work together with James, as we did something similar in Zandvoort, if you remember back to that race where we were basically fighting him and Ched for a podium place that day, and we were able just to sit in a train quite nicely and maintain a decent pace. And I was hoping that we could do the same thing here, but we are up into P7, so we're back where we started. But unfortunately, there it's come at a cost, because you can see the gap between ourselves and Placky and crowding in front of us. It's nearly 4 seconds. We were 1.6 seconds behind a few laps ago, and now all of a sudden we've lost an extra 2 seconds as James goes back through, and we're down to P8. We have a lovely drift to the final corner, but it's not helping our case, and we have to try and work together with these guys, but it just doesn't seem to be working, as James accused me of just sitting in none behind someone, as I was just hoping they had the pace to just carry us forward, but that's not the case whatsoever. So on to lap 15, things are not even going to get any easier for us, as we do get that third and final warning, and that is a 3-second time penalty, and I feel like this is becoming a bit of a bad habit towards the end of this game cycle. We are a little bit careless with warnings at the minute, and it shows with the 3-second penalty, and yeah, it's really frustrating because now the maximum at this point looks to be P7, and SLR Medal is right behind us as well. Shout out to him, actually. He was actually showing some pretty decent pace for once, as he boxes on lap 15. So he's gone for the undercut. We're going to stay out with James and try and go one more lap. And I was quite frustrated, and I just want to get past him and push into clean air. So we just go past him. But you can see the gap now is 5 seconds, as we were sat behind the Mercedes cars to try and save the battery we lost in the early stages of the race. But you can see all that shenanigans has not helped at all. And we're 5 seconds off the top 6 now. So the best thing we can do is just try and maximise P7 as our best result, which is a bit depressing, considering the title says, can we maintain the podium record? But it's not looking likely in today's race. But there's still 13 laps to go, still time for things to happen. And if we show enough pace and not give up, we can try and give ourselves something to smile about in the second stint. We're going to go on the medium tyres for the next 13 laps, and obviously if you saw the Japan video in World, we showed some very good pace on the softer compounder tyre, and we're going to try and do the similar thing here. As we come out of the pits though, we're ahead of James, who followed us in, and we've comfortably overcut SLR Medal. It was something similar to the Japan video as well, where the overcut has worked out for us quite nicely, as people might get tangled in slower traffic who haven't made a pit stop yet. And that's exactly what we're going to have to deal with here. Bourbon Boy and Agonize are yet to stop, as Agonize is seen for the first time in this race, as he's trying to make a recovery from the back of the grid. But he is going to help us out in getting past, not him, but Bourbon as well.
Dankeschön. No. Top man.
And you can hear me practicing my very, very basic German as we get past not one but two cars down the DRS straight, and we're up into P8, and now we've got our good friend Kevin to deal with as well. And we're going to see if we can pass him with immediate effect, because we've managed to put a few cars in between ourselves and James. We've set a purple sector 2 on this outlap, so this could be very promising in terms of trying to close that gap to the race leaders. Something similar to EML, where we pitted a few laps early to try and gain track position and try and get back in the DRS train that we lost in the early stages of the race. And that's exactly what we're looking to do here. We're using the help of DRS from Kevin as we managed to get into his DRS range. He has the fastest lap as well, and I think he pitted on the lap before Medal did as well. So he's been showing some pretty decent pace, and you can see some cars have just come out of the pits in front of us, and the gap is now down to just over 3 seconds. So we've managed to gain nearly 2 seconds on an undercut by putting in a really good outlap and following Kevin through. And also, another positive is those cars that we put in between James has caused him to lose a lot of time, and he's now just over 2 seconds behind us when he pitted on the same lap. So now we can try and actually build a gap, get past Kevin and build a 3-second gap to maximise P7, and maybe try and catch up with the leaders as we go down the inside again through his left-hander, and this time he will not have the inside line through the double right. We make sure that's covered off. By the time we get to the Mickey Mouse section, we are back into P7 in this Miami Grand Prix, and we're setting some pretty good sector times. We're looking to follow up from that green first sector, and we set another personal best in the middle sector. And we're looking pretty good to set the fastest lap of the race. I don't know how far up I was at this point, as you could barely see it on my steering wheel with my camera settings. But coming to the end of lap 18, we're going to come through and cross the line to set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 27.4. And at this point, I was really positive about the chances to get back with the top 6, as the gap is now down to 3 seconds. But now, I was thinking that, okay, this pace will be good, but I don't think we're going to be able to sustain it or even close down the gap without the help of DRS. So we're going to try and work together with Kevin again to try and push us in closer to that DRS train, or just maintain a gap in case there are penalties in front of us. I believe Shazoo Venom has got a 10-second penalty in the meantime as well, so we can try and benefit from that. But you can see that through the first sector, we're pretty close to Kevin. And I was thinking that maybe he's just not really carrying some, you know, a lot of minimum speed through the corners. But I realised what's going on with the gap at the top left-hand side of your screen. You can see that gap between ourselves and James is slowly coming down. It's down to 1.9 seconds. So I quickly realised that A, Kevin is not exactly showing a lot of pace, and B, he might be backing us up into James, which is incredibly frustrating because now we're back to square one with the gap to the top 6.
Yeah, I just lost a second. Fucking hell.
And there's the realisation. We've just lost a second in one sector. And James is pretty much just under 2 seconds behind Kevin. So I think Kevin has been trying to just back us up into James and get his teammate back in the fray, which is incredibly frustrating. I just don't get it. You know, we actually had a chance to try and catch up to the cars in front, but no, Kevin wants to do his own thing and help his teammate, which is fine because it's a team championship. But in our case, it's really frustrating. You can see the gap is just over 1.1 seconds now, and the gap up front is back to 5 seconds. It's incredibly frustrating, and I was getting really annoyed because, again, it just seems that at this moment in time, we're only on course to finish 10th, and that is only going to give us a few points. I don't think that's even double digits in AEC, so yeah, it's not looking great, and my frustration is reaching boiling point.
What is he doing? Jesus Christ. Where are you going? Mate, you're closer to fucking Texas than you are to the apex. Mate, chalk this race. It's such a write-off. Because of this wanker right here. What a joke. I'm not even going to finish 7th, mate. Absolute wank.
And there you go. There is the frustration coming out. It's just so frustrating because the gap is back to 6 seconds, and it basically means we've made no progress at all, and it's because of 2 cars exactly.
Why would we even pit before the front runners just for him to back me up into his teammate 2 seconds behind? We're 2 seconds off the front, guys. We could have actually worked together to catch them. Or to keep with them at least. Doesn't make sense. Why are some people just...
Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
Well.
Well, that might shut me up. Agonized has crashed. He's out of the race. He's had a nightmare of things already, as I'm barely able to get the words out. Sorry, guys. You can tell it's been a minute since I've last made a video.
It's gonna be interesting.
He's out of the race. I don't know how he's binned it, but either way, that's a safety car with just under 7 laps to go. 6 laps to go right now. We're going to put on a set of soft tyres, and we've gained a few places in the pits.
Oh, look at this, mate. We're P4.
So the safety car has actually helped us out. We've actually put ourselves within the top 6 for the first time in this race, and it's at a crucial stage as well. And if you guys saw the carnage in World in Hungary, I'm expecting something different here. I'm expecting not something different, but something similar, I should say. So Tech leads the race. He's going to try not to get taken out, and Quantum is eager to get the lead as well. JT on course for a podium. We're going to see if we can change that. Of course, with the 3-second penalty, which is going to stay, it's going to be quite difficult to build a 3-second gap, especially with these guys being quicker than us over the course of this video, especially in qualifying as well. So nothing really happens for the first lap. And for the second lap, it's all about the DRS. People are basically behaving, everyone pitted on softs, so there's no tyre delta to go off, so it's an even fight from here. But we make a mistake through sector 1, and that allows Crowding to absolutely pounce on us. And he takes full advantage of the opportunity, and he's up into P4, and we're down into P5 with just 2.5 laps to go. And this is crucial because this is for track position. This is for basically track. It's basically for a net position because we've both got 3-second penalties. So
Chicane section.
if we could beat Crowding, it would limit the damage as well. Meanwhile, SLR Medal has been showing some very passive driving behind us, and he's fallen down the order. And there's a lot of fighting going on behind us in the midfield, so we don't have to worry about that for the time being. The only thing we need to worry about is getting past Crowding again to give ourselves a chance at JT near the end of the race. So DRS open, Crowding is flashing away. We're going to see if we can take advantage of this and catch him napping this time. Into the final corner we go, and we're going to go side by side with Crowding. The BRT driver looking to hang on here, but it looks like we are nearly banging wheels. The hand is thrown up in frustration, but Crowding gives it up. He knows that there's still 2 laps to go, and that is us back up into P4, back where we started on the restart, and we're going to see what we can do in the next lap and a half. But unfortunately, we're going to look backwards instead of forwards because Crowding isn't quite done with us, as he's looking to go round the outside, and again we're having to use the inside line for this corner, and we're going to try and hang on here, but Crowding sticks in there, and fair play to him. He's absolutely mugged us off there, and I wasn't too mad about it because, you know, there's still a lap to go, as one with 4 warnings now, and the main thing is trying to save the battery because he knows that this is for crucial track position at the end of the race. You can see that we've still got Kevin, our good friend, right behind us on the final lap, but unfortunately, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Everyone's behaving. The only thing that's changed is Quantum and Tech going at it for the race win. And apart from that, nothing much has happened. So, we don't have much battery left. And I think I know that, judging from my reaction in the background. There's yellow flags at the back. And I don't think there's going to be any yellow flags ahead. And we're just too far to make an impression on Crowding at the final corner. We try and get low on the brakes, but nothing is going to come off it. Tech has nearly been put on a wall in the meantime. But for us, it's P5 on track. And unfortunately, that will mean we finish in P7, and the podium streak that we had in AEC this season is in the mud, and the streak is over, and it is quite frustrating. Quite a frustrating race here in Miami. We just didn't seem to have the pace when it mattered. However, there were a few rumblings about some people crossing the white line on pit entry, and Crowding was one of them, and he's been awarded with a 3-second penalty, which drops him down to P11. And we get P6 in the end, but without our 3-second penalty, we could have been 4th, and Kevin does get the last lap over us. So, not bad, but I don't really feel there's much to rave about here, because the qualifying pace wasn't great, and the race pace was okay, but I don't really think that we would have kept up with the top 6, especially Kevin being an annoying twat throughout the entire race. And in the standings, we are 3rd. Japan has already happened, as this race was 2 weeks ago, and we didn't score great there either. And yeah, it's not exactly the best of seasons for us, but it is what it is. I think I might do another 1 or 2 races which are remaining in this season, just to end the game on a high note. But yeah, another race where we just don't really show what we can do, and it's a bit frustrating. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one. Make sure you check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. Get subscribed for more, and as always, I will see all of you in the next one.